All right, yeah, let's get on page 48. We got a lot of more stuff to cover before we're through today. This is where we're going to get into the scripts. This is the Acts script. This is the one that you need to master because you'll be using it a lot. This is the script that you have to be able to present to people when it's obvious to you they're Acts candidates. When you present this script, the seller's either going to be receptive to it or they're not. And if they're not, no problem, you move on. If they are, you go make an appointment. Since you have no equity in the house, I couldn't buy it, but fortunately for you, I do have a plan to get you out if you wish. Would you like to hear it? And then you stop. And what's their answer going to be? Okay. Well, John, I'll lease your house with the option to buy it at the loan balance at the time it's purchased, and I'll make your payment until then. However, it must be a long-term lease, at least 10 years, so the value has time to increase and the equity to return. I'll locate a quality tenant buyer to move in until they have enough equity to get a new loan or until they sell it to someone else. They'll have a financial stake in the house and be responsible for all the repairs, and you must approve them before they move in. Then I'll assign you the lease so they can pay you directly or pay the bank, whichever you choose. It costs you nothing. I'll do all the work, and you have the final word. I'll collect whatever I can from the buyers and locate them at my expense. So if that sounds okay, I'll come out to your house, answer your questions, and if it looks okay, I'll leave you the simple paperwork. If it looks okay, I'll leave you the simple paperwork done while you're there as a misprint. I'll leave you the simple paperwork while I am there. Okay, got it? Now, is that pretty easy to understand if you recite it slowly, giving them a chance to consume it while you're saying it? Hello? Do you have to practice it that a little bit? Yes? You have to practice and relax and take your time and pause until you don't even need it anymore. Because it won't be long until you don't need it anymore. And the truth is, there's only a few points in the whole thing that matter. I'll lease option your house for the loan balance. I'll take care of all the repairs. It costs you nothing, and you get to approve the buyer. That's all you got to get across to them. And you can do it in your own words, but I strongly suggest you use the script till you don't need it anymore. Scott don't need it anymore. I don't need it anymore. I'll bet you John or Stephanie don't need it anymore because they were doing the deals before I wrote it. Okay. This is the script to buy. Seller will own or finance or lease purchase, but with unfavorable terms, which means they want too much down, or they want too much per month, or they want too much in purchase price. Yet, you see a chance to get in, negotiate a deal, and then assign it to your buyer or tenant. Well, John, that's more than I'm willing to pay as a buyer, but I do have another plan I think you'll like. I can meet your terms, but instead of me closing, I'll locate, pre-screen, and approve a tenant buyer or buyer, whichever the case may be, who can live with your terms and assign them our contract. You'll have full approval rights and a complete package on them before I ever present them, and if you say no, they're out. I'll collect what I can from them so it costs you nothing. If that sounds okay, I'll come out and look at the house, and you can ask questions, and we can iron out the terms and get an agreement done while I'm there if possible. Okay? All right? If they say okay, you go right to the appointment script that we're coming to. If they say, well, why don't you buy, then because I'm an investor and I'm not willing to pay what you want, but an owner-occupant will. You accomplish your goal, no cost to you, and remember, you get the rights to approve them. No surprises, should I come look. Okay? Can you do that? Yes. How many of you can read? Well, it's gotten to the point to where that's all you got to do if you know what script to read them. And it says right at the top how to identify that script. Seller will own or finance or lease option, but with unfavorable terms to you. How do you know they want unfavorable terms? Because the VAs probably asked them before you got the sheet. If the VA didn't, and now you're on the phone with them, you will immediately know the first time they want $20,000, then you pop this script out. By the way, would it maybe a good idea to take the scripts out of the book and put them where you can easily see them, so you don't have to just scan the one that you want to read instead of having to fumble through a book? What do you think? What do you think? Your choice. Okay, here's your script of pre-screened houses with some equity and a debt, but they look like sandwich lease candidates. Why would they look like sandwich lease candidates? Low payment, some equity, and preferably asking price below what you think the ARV is. Based on what you told me, I do see a way I may be able to help if your house qualifies. It's my lease option program where I agree to make your payments and maintain the house at my cost until it's cashed out sometime in the future. You can get out quickly and forget about it until you're asked to transfer ownership and get paid off then. Would you like me to come to your home and see the house and answer your questions? Yep. If the answer is yes, you make an appointment. If the answer is no, okay, may I ask then, what will you do if your house doesn't sell? And that's always a good question to ask. It may lead you right back into the negotiation. All right, here's your script for a free and clear house. My friends, this one is worth your whole trip here. I find very few people that feel comfortable pre-screening free and clear houses. Largely because they don't know what they are trying to accomplish, therefore they don't know what to say. So, what am I trying to accomplish when I see a free and clear house? What's on my mind? My first objective is to create seller financing terms with little or nothing down and as low payment as possible. That's my first objective. If I can't do that, then I want to create terms that I can assign to an axe buyer and get a check for the assignment fee. So, a script comes to me, and it's checked yes, seller would consider owner financing. You get on the phone and say, well, there's actually several ways I can buy your house. One is all cash, but I'm afraid, you know what, I'd skip that part if they've already checked yes, it's owner financing. But if you're on the phone with them and you're filling out the script, one is all cash, but I'm afraid I'd insult you with what I could pay in today's market. If you could take your equity in monthly installments, I can pay much more and close quickly. Will you do that? Okay, you get a yes. Okay, what's the least you could accept per month on a payment? Pause. Can you finance with nothing down? Ooh, that's scary. That's scary. I am absolutely positive they're going to say no, aren't you? All right, guys. Big mistake. Big mistake is when you try to think for other people. You have no idea what's on their mind. You cannot prejudge what they're thinking. You cannot make decisions for them. You're not in their shoes. And to try to figure out what they want is impossible because most of the time they don't even know. So what many people do coming in is they jump to conclusions that I wouldn't take that offer, so I wouldn't offer it to them. What if we let people decide what's best for them instead of us trying to decide it for them by giving them a choice or two or three and letting them guide themselves in the direction they want to instead of you assuming you know what's best for them? If somebody will sell it to me with owner financing and they do not want a down payment, do you think I should offer them one anyway? Yo? Okay. Do I expect them to say, no, I want a down payment? I do expect them to say that. But if I offer them a down payment before I ask them if they'll take none, I can assure you I'll never get none. You will be shocked at how many times they'll say, yes, I'll sell it to you with nothing down. You'll never be shocked, though, if you don't ever ask. So, should I be mentally prepared for them to come back and say, no, I want money, I want down payment? And if they do say that, what should I say? Well, it's right there. Okay, well then what's the least you could accept for a down payment? Now, golly, I hope I don't have to tell you that you don't repeat that whole paragraph without pausing and letting them answer after each one, right? Can you finance with nothing down? What's the least you'd accept for a down payment? Okay, you pause, you wait for an answer. I probably should write that in there, shouldn't I? Huh? All right. All right, now they come back and say, well, no, I won't accept monthly payments. All right, so you're saying you won't sell with owner financing. Whether it's yes or no. All right, well, based on what you told me, I see another way I may be able to help if your house qualifies. It's the same script. It's my lease option plan where I'll make your payment and keep the house in good shape at my expense while I get a tenant buyer qualified for new financing. If we can agree upon the price and terms and your house qualifies, I can start when you're ready. Should I come look and discuss it further? Now, who gets to decide whether you're coming or not coming? They do. They do. And if the answer is no, you end the conversation. I can't lease it. I can't buy with owner financing. I'm done. If the answer is yes, you make an appointment with the appointment script. Okay? Well, what do you mean my house qualifies? Well, first of all, the house should be in good shape and ready to sell. Is it? Secondly, we have to agree upon a price and a payment. I don't have to steal your house, but on the other hand, I can't pay retail price either. What's the lowest? Remember, this is a free and clear house. Hey? It's a free and clear house, so I can negotiate a decent price on this one. I don't have to steal your house. Are sellers concerned about investors stealing their house? Do many sellers think that's all we do is steal houses? Well, and that is all some investors do. On the other hand, I can pay retail price either. What's the lowest price you could accept if I were to have it appraised? What do you think it appraised? What do you think it'd come in at? All right? So if you like your answers, you make an appointment. If the seller is asking full retail price, okay. Well, when I come look, I'll let you know then what I can pay. However, I know now, based on what you told me, it won't be what you're asking. In order for me to devote my time and resources to your house, I must make a profit. I simply can't pay you retail price and do so. Would you consider lowering your price somewhat? Why don't we just tell it like it is? No. Well, if they won't lower their price, can you still buy the house? Yes, if they give you a low payment or a low rent, and you can get a big monthly spread. All right, make appointments on page 53. Will you guys know when it's time to make an appointment? When would that be? When are you going to make appointments? Well, we're going to make an appointment when we get the positive answers to the questions. Will you lease purchase it? Yes. Okay. If it's an axe deal, we go through the axe script. Do you want me to come out and look? Yes. Make an appointment. Will you own or finance it? Yes. Will you sell it with little or nothing down? Yes. What monthly payment do you think you need? Okay, I like that, or at least we're close. Make an appointment. When I get positive answers, we make an appointment. If I don't, there's no need to make an appointment. Now, here's your script to make an appointment, because I didn't want to leave that up to you. All right, Mr. Seller. I'll first look at the top. It says, make sure all owners are present before you visit the house. Don't go unless they are, because all owners, that's not partners, that's owners, must sign your contract. All owners must sign your contract. If husband and wife jointly own a house, and by the way, if they live in the house, they jointly own it regardless who's on the deed. I need both signatures. Now here's some things you're going to run across, so be on the lookout for it. Divorce. Judge awarded house to one of the two parties. The party that got the house think they own the house. They think because the judge told the wife to give the house to the husband, that means the husband owns the house. Really, in many cases, all the judge did was tell the husband, you're paying for the house. Husband heard he owns the house. Judge said, you're paying for the house. Or, judge does give ownership to the house from one party to the other, but does not initiate the proper paperwork. You see, folks, a judge can order a house transferred from one party to another. But if the order is not prepared and recorded, then there is no transfer. And husband and wife still own the house, regardless of what the judge said. And then, so if a house is transferred from one spouse to the other, you want to ask the spouse, tell me, how did you become the owner? Did the judge grant ownership to you? Well, yes. Okay, I'll need to see that document when I come out to take a look, and I'll need a copy of it. And then you take that document to your attorney and let your attorney decide if you're dealing with the right party. But you got to ask. You got to ask. So when the husband says, yeah, I now own the house, she's gone. Okay, did the judge transfer ownership to you? Well, yeah. Okay, well, I need to see that. Well, I don't know. Well, then do you know how you own the house? Well, you better find out, because if you go out to the house and you get the husband's signature and you don't get the wife's, you do not have a contract. And the last thing you want to do is go get one party's signature and then go put a lease option tenant in the house. Whoa, that would be a no-no, because that will come back and give you a bad hair day if wife objects. All right, as soon as you get a contract signed of any kind, you're going to have a title search done to make sure you're dealing with the right sellers before you go putting buyers in and take their money. All right? It's all right? Right. All right, so here's your script. Listen, John, if I come out to your house and we agree upon terms, are you ready to sell your house today? If he says no, why on earth would you want to go? You just need the trip or what? They got to tell me they're ready to sell. They got to tell me they're ready to do business. We're not trotting out there. So if he says, yeah, okay, I'll be bringing an agreement to leave with you if it's a go. You set the appointment. If it's a no, don't go. John, I can't come out till you're ready to sell. Frankly, I got plenty to do without looking at houses that I'm not going to buy. So if you're ready to sell, I'll come out. If not, call me when you are. Done. All right, next page, page 54. Avoid the time waster houses that are highly leveraged with only one loan with little equity. We've actually already discussed that. And they are time wasters. If they're highly leveraged and they're behind on payments, I wouldn't touch them. Look, you can't help everybody. And I'll tell you, sometimes these things are going to pull at your heartstrings. You get out there and you hear all these folks' problems, you sympathize with them, and you would like to help them, but you can't. House is over leveraged, they're way behind on payments, it will not short sale down, you can't bring the payments current, you would like to get them out of the mess, but you just can't because there is no exit. And that's pretty much what that page says. Unfortunately, you're just going to have to pass. Look at there, I got the appointment script in there twice, don't I? All right. On page 55 is the appointment script again.